Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Frantic Nerdcast episode number 51.
We made it past the 50.
We're back.
You had to think a little
I
bit
had
harder.
to think. I'm like, okay, I know we did 50 last. I'm like, oh, is it 51? But it is. And as some of you can see, if you're watching, if you're not watching, we've got a special guest again. What do you want to say?
I was going to say, or if you've read the title.
Or if you've read the title of the video, I might say special guest again. But yes, we have Alana back from Girls Who Don't D&D again.
Hi.
She's come back. We loved her so much, and she got so much more famous from being on the podcast last time that she just really, really wanted to come back. How have you handled the fame of being on Frantic Nerdcast?
Look, it's been really overwhelming. I mean, I don't know if it's a coincidence, but right after I left here, I was then like swamped by people, like in person, 3 days in a row. So
I'm going to go with coincidence.
I'm pretty sure it was a high coincidence, yeah.
But I mean, on that note, I mean, you've come back from MCM, as you just said, 3 days out there talking to a bunch of people over in London. So those who don't know, MCM is basically London's Comic-Con. How was it?
it was an incredible and humbling and overwhelming experience. I genuinely felt famous.
Yeah.
I had 2 panic attacks across those 3 days.
Only 2.
Only 2.
Okay.
I had one like going into the convention on the first day and then one on the last day. But it was surreal. Like we were just unprepared.
Yeah.
Like we joked that it was just going to be one person would show up.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because cause I'm up to date with the podcast now, and listening to the last couple of episodes, you're sort of saying, oh yeah, we're going to be in London. Please come out and see us because we really would like to at least have one of you in the crowd. So that's awesome that you had such a big response. That's awesome.
It was wild. Like the very first day, so it was like 9 till 5. And I got there late on every single day. But
still adjusting to London time.
Yeah. But I didn't eat. The first day I did not eat. I had 2 toilet breaks, I think. But like to start with, we had like a couple people come see us and we're like, okay, cool. It's going to be really chill. It's going to be great. And then we did our panel. And I noticed the panel before, because we were like in there for the like handover bit of it. The panel before, I saw a couple of people that I'd met at our booth, and I was like, oh, they're waiting here for us. Then their panel ends, a bunch of people get up and leave, and then people like don't get up and leave. And other people come in, and all of a sudden there's no seats. Like it feels like there's no seats, and I'm like, oh my God, like they're here for us. And then Corey plays the theme song, and we walk on stage, and I'm like, they're not leaving.
Okay, we wanted people here, but just a few less, please.
It was insane. It was so amazing. And then they followed us back to our booth, and we actually got in trouble from the organizers for clogging up the walkway. But we were very lucky in the end because we were at like an end booth. So all of our partners went with us, and they ended up working the entire weekend because it was like just meeting people, chatting with people, signing things, getting photos of people. So that's what the 4 of us were doing. So all of our partners were just running the booth and then bringing, like we had these whiteboards, they were stretching shirts over to bring to us, but like, you got to sign this one. And we're like, who's that for? And like chatting to people and stuff. And Corey's kid was also there working the booth. And he was one of the people also signing. And he's like, still primary school age, so like a younger kid. But he was getting real pro with it. Like he was getting to the point where Corey's snapping pictures of him as he's signing, and he'd go to sign something, pause to like smile at the camera before he'd sign.
Oh, that's awesome.
And yeah, it was amazing. Like people were just so lovely.
Was he signing his name or was he signing loot?
He was signing Coop.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were all signing just our first names and then like extra things here and there. So Corey did Let's Rock on a couple of things. That was
Very
his
good.
go-to. But yeah, it was full on. We got a little bit more organized on the Saturday once we knew what we were in for.
Yep.
So we like got to eat because we posted to say, okay, the 4 of us will be here for these 2-hour blocks, and then it'll be a rotation throughout the day because it was just
too much.
Yeah. And look, I in particular, because of the whole like anxiety ADHD thing, like I was sensorily overwhelmed, thus panic attacks. But it was so worth it. Like I'd want to be as organized as we were on the Saturday for for any kind of future ones going forward. But it was.
I suppose if you were organised by, so I'm assuming Saturday was day 3, or was that day 2?
Day 2.
So if you were organised by day 2, you've done pretty bloody well, because I reckon there'd be people out there who still aren't organised for these types of things.
Yeah.
So you've done very well there. But that's awesome. Especially to have that sort of response from everybody over there.
Yeah, and like we met people from all over, like obviously the UK, but we had people fly in from Germany, Czech Republic, Luxembourg. One lady flew in from New York just on the Sunday, just to come see us and then fly back.
Wow.
And I was like, this is wild. Like we met so many people and they shared their stories, and I ended every single day just like sobbing from the overwhelm, but also just from like how amazing it was to have these people share their experiences with us and what we meant to them. And I was just like, oh my God, like I'm just some rando in like a garage recording these things, but like we've meant something to people. And you read comments and stuff online, but meeting people's a whole different ball game. And they're also lovely, like gifts. Like we got like bracelets, and we got stickers, and we got like artwork people had done. One of the, like it's my short go-to like anecdote that I tell everyone. This guy comes up to us and he's a silversmith. He makes jewelry for a living. And he's like, I was going to make you guys a gift, but like I didn't get a chance. Here's an interim gift. And he opens up a box of rings and like gives us like literal rings that he's made. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. What's your name? And he goes, my birth name was Luke, but my brother legally changed my name when I was young to Sauron Gandalf Gimli. I can't remember the last name. And I was like, so you're telling me I own a ring that was made by Sauron? And he's like, yeah. It's good about coolest thing.
He was kind of forced into that career path, really.
I feel like he was, yeah.
It was destiny. If you believe in destiny, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That is wild. All right. If you had to pick a highlight.
Probably besides meeting the fans, 'cause I think that would probably be your number one. Besides like meeting all the fans.
Okay, besides the fans.
Because I say that, I'm assuming that'd be number one.
Yeah.
It was. It really was.
We'll go with a couple of highlights then.
Okay. I really enjoyed hearing people's stories. So that's a fan thing, obviously. Yep. Is this convention specific or the rest of the trip?
Either one.
Okay. Convention specific, I got to go and explore the D&D like side of the convention and like buy dice and stuff. So that was really cool. Hubby got to go play like a mini how to DM session and how to play session on the Sunday, I think that was.
How did you find that? Because I've never actually spoken to anybody who's done one of those things, because I know there are a lot of Comic-Cons and like similar things, because the Newcastle thing had something like that, like a little collector-con, and I just sort of thought, yeah, sure, aimed at a younger audience, but it sounds like it might be a little more broad. How did you like it?
He enjoyed it. They had quite a few tables running, and I spoke to someone who came to see us who, like, that's what they do. They volunteer at the conventions to run those things. He did say like it was, what was his thing? The DM one, he said it was interesting because his only experience with DMing has been listening to Corey.
Sure.
So it was interesting to see the different ways that other people like view it. And he actually ended up getting extra time for the player one because there was no one else waiting for the next bit.
Sure.
So he lucked out there and he enjoyed it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like he's very keen to actually play.
So he'd prefer to play than DM?
He
wants to do both.
Well, that's the thing. So we're going to start playing, and because it's just the two of us, he's going to take on DMing.
Sure.
Because he just really wants to be in a game. But we, in terms of other highlights, on our last week in London, we went to this pub that runs drop-in, drop-out games of D&D. So they've built a whole like homebrew game, and you can be a regular player or you can come in and just play a session.
Yeah, right.
And so Zach and I went in, and we went an hour early. They help you create a character, and then you get to like join one of the sections of the campaigns. Like they run different rooms and stuff, and that was a really cool experience.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. I think Lisa will let me go to that pub when we're there in a week's time.
Yeah, no, I doubt that, mate. I doubt that.
But as I say, like,
there might be a day we can send Lisa off to a spa, and you can just sort of wander out.
It's just not happening. No, but it said knowing Zach like I do, I could fully see him being a DM and like thoroughly enjoying the storytelling and things he could come up with. So that'd be an interesting campaign to watch or play with.
I'm really interested to see how he goes because we bought a couple of books and stuff. So I don't know whether he's going to go like with a pre-written campaign or if he's going to try and do way too much at once and write the story.
My suggestion is go with the pre-written.
Yeah.
Go with one of the starter sets. That's what we started on. We started on the D&D starter set. And as a first-time DM, it really helped. It's super well laid out and it's pretty much read and talk.
Yeah, okay, cool.
For the DM in those kinds of things. And like they have the stat blocks for everything. So you don't have to look anything up and it's just super easy to go through. And it just gives you that vibe because a lot of bit of DMing when you first start is confidence.
Yeah, cool.
And because the one thing that you have to learn as well as a DM is fuck the players. You're right always. And having the confidence to when someone's like, oh no, if I did this, and it's like, no. That's not how it works, buddy. You do what I say.
I think you'll enjoy that aspect of it.
That's it takes a little bit of confidence to get that, especially when you've got players that are very like, nah, kind of thing.
We're not too... Okay, yeah, we are.
No, you're fine. You're fine. There's a couple of players, especially when they've got some booze in them. But yeah, that's it. Like those starter sets, super easy to learn how to DM. And then I've done one homebrew campaign and it was fun coming up with the idea and stuff, but it's a lot of work. Laying out, because you can't just lay out our path that you want your players to go on, because players, no offense, are fucking idiots and they will never follow the written path.
It's quite funny.
There's like a shiny gold building over there made with fucking hookers and everything, and then they go, oh, look at that rundown building. I want to go to that rundown building over there. What's that? There's dead bodies around it. Yeah, let's go to that one. No, you want to go to the golden building. No. We want to go to that.
It's quite funny listening to Corey with the girls who don't D&D and how he'll sort of do a spiel about. So I planned for everything I could. I planned for everything I didn't expect, and I still had to rewrite things. And it's quite funny listening to how he becomes shocked at what you guys do in the show. So I get it.
The two that come to mind for me are like, and I've listened to it back for like a commentary thing now, but we have this moment where we're like in an underground mountain cave thing, and he insisted at the time, but we insisted he did not describe all these things. But he describes all these things we could have used to build it like a raft, a craft, like a floating vessel. And we're just like, oh, what do we do? Oh, we'll hollow out these giant spiders and create like a capsule to float in. And I think the other one was he had a whole scene planned out for us to climb across these rooftops. And I was like, let's go in the sewers.
Yep.
Let's just go that way instead.
It's funny because like there's a couple of those moments where he brings them up again, like in the future. He goes, well, remember when you guys made the spider carcass and you could have done something else? Or it's quite entertaining. Yeah.
Well, that's what D&D players do.
Yes, I can imagine.
Like you lay out the most... A to B, like you just got to go A to B, guys, and then the players will go, you know what? If we jump to K and then we'll swing around the side to Z, that will get us to B.
No, that'll get us to 2.
Yeah, see, this is why I think if I ever play D&D, I need to have the right players with me. Because like quick game's good game, like let's move forward. Like we don't.
Oh, your quick game's a good game. You won't like D&D.
Over there, that's pointless. Go this way. Like shiny building over that way, glowing aura. It's probably where we need to go. Let's go there.
So you guys are what 4 years in, 5 years in,
3
years in, and you pretty much just started volume 2. Or thereabouts.
Sorry, my mum decided to call me a podcast. I'll talk to her later.
No. Hi, Mum. So you obviously went over to the con.
Yes.
And you enjoyed that thoroughly. You shared some moments from that, which is just fucking awesome. But you were over in Europe, UK/Europe for a long time because they're 2 different places now.
Yes.
One
has miles, one has kilometers. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What else did you enjoy?
Country-wise, because we did like London, then we drove. So we did Ireland, Scotland, and then came back down to London. Country-wise, Ireland was just the most beautiful place.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It was gorgeous.
Awesome place.
Like I I love like tree-lined roads, and there was nothing but tree-lined roads. And because it was autumn, everything was like yellow and orange and green, and it was beautiful. I think we did like 5 different zoos in these 3 countries because we love animals. And I think the one at the top of Ireland, Wild Ireland, had like Arctic foxes, wolves, bears, and it was the least zoo-feeling zoo that I'd ever been to. So like they had the enclosure that you could actually see the animal in, but it was like a quarter of the space they actually had access to.
Yeah. Right.
So as someone attending the zoo, it kind of sucks in the sense that you might not get to see them necessarily, but you feel better about going.
Okay.
Like they're clearly like really well cared for. And I just sobbed like a little bitch baby when I saw those Arctic foxes, man. I was like, I want them. They're coming home with me. So that was one of my favorite places.
So how many did you get home?
None. I've got a long list. Zach is going to build me a butterfly house though.
Okay.
So that is the one apparently like achievable request that I had. So I'm allowed to have that.
So why weren't the Arctic foxes achievable?
Apparently not. Apparently not.
They won't get along with the beehives they've got.
Right.
Yeah.
On the zoos, I say, when I was in Edinburgh last, we went to the Edinburgh Zoo.
Yes.
And we did one of the animal talks where they bring out all these different animals, and it's like, oh, we're bringing out the Australian animal now. And Dad and I are like, oh, this would be cool. It'd be something interesting. No, it was a rainbow lorikeet. Like of all the animals that they could have brought out, that was it. Okay, fair enough. Not a snake or any of our dangerous animals or interesting
ones. They couldn't bring out animals because we eat them all.
That's true too.
That's true. That's true.
Edinburgh Zoo was also hilarious in terms of the map that they give you.
Yeah.
And it's like all the areas are either steep or very steep. Like it's on a hill to start with, and then
well, that's just Edinburgh in general. It's just fucking hilly.
Yeah, and so it was just
the penguin enclosure there was my favourite at the Edinburgh one.
So I cannot remember if it was exactly Edinburgh or was a different zoo, but we started avoiding penguins after one of the zoos.
I'm sorry, you went to so many zoos you can't remember which zoo was.
I don't know which one it was because we. At one of the first zoos we went to, we were walking around, having a grand old time. We start walking towards the penguins, and as we are approaching their section, we just get hit with this stench. And I don't know if it was the penguins or just a coincidence, but we got to the penguins, could see them, and Zach just started gagging. Like, he couldn't stop. And I'm like, okay, abort, go. And he was like mid-sentence. And so I spent like 20 minutes laughing at him, and then we avoided penguins for the rest of the trip.
Fair enough.
Makes sense.
Nice. And then I guess the other 2 things were like experience things. So we went to a blacksmithing experience where you could make a bunch of things. You could make daggers, swords, barbecue tools, rings. We signed up to make daggers. Mm-hmm. Then the day before we went, we found out you can't bring daggers back into the country. Mm-hmm. But you can bring swords.
That was going to be my next question. Did the sword come home?
Yes. So we made a sword.
How does that work?
Right?
It's Australia. We don't ask questions.
It's a concealed thing. Like whether or not it's easy to conceal is the crux of what they're concerned about. Right. But on the plus side, because we had to tick for the customs check, we had to tick the number 1 box for that's the category for drugs, weapons, like all the bad stuff. We went through that line. No one else was in that line.
Oh, so you got priority.
Yeah. So we got through super quick, and they were like, so why are you in this line today? And I
got a sword.
Right. I ticked it too because I had my ADHD drugs and I didn't know what the deal was. And like, oh no, don't worry about that. Yeah. And oh, sword, you made it? And she's like, can I see it? And we're like, well, we assumed that was what was going to happen. And she's like, is it sharp? And we're like, yeah, ish. And she pulled it out of the suitcase, had a look. She's like, yeah, you can have that. And I was like, yeah, Australia.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. On you fucking go.
So it was a very cool experience. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, that's fantastic. You had a good time. And I love hearing that experience that you had at the con as well. That's fucking awesome. That a little Australian podcast can go do that, especially for 4 people that had never played D&D before they started as well, and it's that big and stuff. That's really, really awesome.
If you haven't listened to it, go and listen to it. It is an incredible show.
Fingers crossed with our popularity, we'll be in the Philippines Comic Con soon.
Is there one in the Philippines?
There's Comic-Cons everywhere.
Wow.
I've
Probably
been to-
not. That's just
I went to
Some of them are
the,
less known of.
I went to the Anaheim Comic-Con when I was in America.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there during the New York time.
Oh, so is the big one LA or New York?
New York's the big one.
Oh, okay.
LA is probably like the second biggest, but New York is like it's like San Diego Comic-Con. Well, not New York, sorry, San Diego is the big one. Why the fuck did I say that? But yeah, San Diego Comic-Con is the Comic-Con. That's like the OG one. That's the one, Hall H, where all the shows are announced, all that kind of stuff. And I mean, Comic-Con's not even about comics anymore. It hasn't been about comics in a long time.
It's definitely
nerd
evolved.
culture, really.
Yeah.
Which is upsetting. Like I still remember when Supernova started in Australia. You go and it was a bunch of stalls that had cheap comics, cheap trading cards, TCG cards, all that kind of stuff. And it was before nerd culture was cool. So you could go and get cheap shit. And that's what it was all about. And then there was like comic artists signing and stuff. And then it slowly turned into, Pokemon. Every second store is now Pokemon. And then prices went up and all the sort of secondhand market left and it was all just stalls and stuff. And yeah, and unfortunately, I believe from my mate that went over, goes to Comic-Con every year in San Diego, he said, like, that's pretty much all San Diego Comic-Con is now.
That's a
Well,
shame.
bar Hall H, basically, where it's just all the announcements.
And Hall H is
And some of the panels.
ridiculous to get into.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, you got to line up for like 3-4 hours before the panel you want to see.
Yeah, I've watched Big Bang Theory. I'm aware.
I'm remembering that when they're trying to purchase tickets. On the
Big Bang
computer.
Theory is so accurate. Such an accurate show.
I have a follow-up question before we move on too far. How many dice sets did you buy? And what was... Oh, she brought them.
Oh, she brought them.
I brought my dice bag because I didn't know if that's what goodies meant.
That's your camera. Just this one here, that one there. You can show all the dice to that camera if you want, or you can hold them up in front of that one.
And if you're listening, we will try and take some photos and we'll post them to our
No,
socials.
if you're listening, it's your own fault. You're just listening.
That's not dice. That's my
You brought your positive potato.
So, purchasing wise, I purchased this beauty.
Oh, hold that up in front of that
Which was
camera.
like-
Yeah. Oh, wow. that's a
30
big
pounds or
boy.
something, so like 60 Australian dollars. But it was so pretty. I have not
Wow.
rolled it yet, but
For those
I have
listening
it.
at home, it's probably the size of a small apple.
A child's fist.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
And then I didn't buy this, but I bought the necklace. I bought one of those necklaces that you can put like a D20 in. But Jess, the lady from Luxembourg, gave me her lucky die. She'd pre-rolled it for me to make sure that I wouldn't roll a 1 with it. And I did in fact use it at the drop in, drop out D&D game. Rolled 1, first go.
And for those who do listen to the show, that is standard.
Yeah.
So if it's a lucky dice for Alana, it needs to have the 1 fold off and put it with like a 2 or something.
Pretty much.
But I didn't. I think I only purchased one other dice set, but I've actually organized all my dice into little baggies.
Oh my god! Wow!
So these are all my D6s.
Wow! So you can on 3D websites you can get plans for 3D printable chainmail bags for dice sets.
Okay,
And then also one of my mates, Brendan, he has actually learnt off YouTube how to make chainmail dice bags. Like
Very
proper real
cool.
metal ones.
Well, as I
off
say, so
YouTube. It's actually not that hard. It's just a lot of pliering.
Yeah. I'd imagine I would get yelled at for the noise. Like I already get glared at a little bit when I'm doing my little stacking and stuff.
Me and Brock have both got these dice, right? They're big. It's essentially a big ball, and you spin it, and the numbers are on the bottom. But when it spins, it goes.
should give it to her for her to use on the next episode.
And it just keeps going and going. So as the DM, you're just sitting there going,
How's the weather?
Because you used them as a DM
Yeah.
and you thought, oh yeah, this is all right. But then when I got one and used it, you're like, oh fuck.
I think I used it I got them and I got it used once or twice. I'm like, yeah, I'm over that now. Just give me the normal dice.
The 3D printed chainmail though is actually quieter than you think.
Okay.
So when I was in New Zealand, we went to I'm going to butcher the name, like the Waitakere Studios, or it's basically a big special effects company in New Zealand that did a lot for like Lord of the Rings and a bunch of movies and
So Weta.
Weta, that's it, the Weta Workshop.
It's
I don't
like
know what I'm thinking
the
of.
most famous
Yeah,
visual
I
effects
told-
studio in the
I
world.
literally told you I was going to butcher the name. So they had a bunch of like their old school chainmail, but then like the 3D versions they use now, and yeah, it was pretty lightweight and
Well, it'll just be the PLA anyway.
Yeah,
so.
pretty soundproof.
Fun
so.
fact about Weta. Peter Jackson, he did like a couple of movies in New Zealand, which are fantastic movies. And then he kind of started making a name for himself, and he went over to America and he made his movie The Frighteners, was going to make it. And the studio were like, here's $5 million, like whatever money, like Pitten's money in LA. And he's like, sweet. Came back to New Zealand, used a portion of it to make the movie in New Zealand, used the rest of it to start Weta Studios. Yeah. And now Weta Studios is like one of the biggest studios in the world. Oh. And The Frighteners is a I personally think it's his best movie. And that's including Lord of the Rings.
Ooh, fighting words.
Michael J. Fox.
Is it a horror movie?
It's a comedy. It's like a black comedy kind of thing. It's Michael J. Fox can see ghosts. And essentially... like the Grim Reaper starts coming and killing people and stuff, and Michael J. Fox, because can see the ghost, he's got to try and figure out what's going on. Imagine if Peter Jackson made a Tim Burton movie.
Okay,
that's kind of the vein of what it is, and it's a really, really enjoyable movie. Highly recommend it.
Last fun fact: I saw them making I believe it was the Highlander sword for the new Highlander movie while I was there.
As in, like the new Henry Cavill one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
I cannot fucking wait for that. I'll be buying that fucking sword. I've got Connor McLeod's sword and Duncan McLeod's sword.
I have Boromir's sword.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. That's my flex.
I
didn't make it either. Sorry.
I've got the katanas, not their broadswords.
Yeah, Zach has a Lord of. I don't know which sword it is though. Now I'm just. But we have one.
All right, let's get into TV shows. Let's get into some TV shows.
We're doing rumours first.
So, that's a thing we do, isn't it? You'd think we'd know this after 51 episodes. Okay, so let's talk some fucking rumours, shall we?
League of Legends wins the best esports game award. That's the first, not really rumour, but fun fact.
I mean, it's pretty much one of the main esports out there.
Yeah. I'd say it's probably the biggest of the mainstream
I can't
ones.
remember what I read last week. I should have deleted them. Read that.
Did we ever mention that apparently Marvel is developing a Strange Academy Disney show? Did we mention that?
No.
Yeah.
That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. When I seen it and thought, I don't know if we've spoken about it or not.
What's Strange Academy?
Strange Academy, so Doctor Strange. More or less, it's his thing where he brings up mystics and whatnot.
The comic's kind of a more kid-friendly, like aimed at younger audience comic. I've never read it, but I've seen that's the vein it was sort of going for.
Jurassic World Chaos Theory hasn't officially been confirmed for season 3, but theoretically we should get one in spring 2025. We're in the middle of watching the current season, but
that's the animated one,
yes,
isn't it?
That is canon to the Jurassic World movies.
Yeah.
So we're on the Chaos Theory is the sequel to the Camp Cretaceous cartoon, and it's set just before Dominion.
Is it good?
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed it. I've watched it a little bit with us.
I actually haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to give it a watch.
You got to start with Camp Cretaceous though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll throw it in while you're flicking through. Prime Video's Secret Level has already been renewed for season 2.
I did see that this morning. Yeah, I saw that. That's
started watching the second part this afternoon, so I got a few episodes in.
I have quite possibly the biggest news that we're ever going to break on this show. Bluey's getting a fucking movie.
Yeah, I saw that on.
Wait, didn't he already have a movie? She already have a movie?
No, there's no movie. Bluey's getting a full-length feature film.
Yes.
Going to the cinemas and everything.
That's exciting.
Cannot wait, man. The amount of adults that are going to be at that movie
because
theater.
it's for everyone.
No, it's more for adults. Fuck kids. I love Bluey. Is one of my favourite TV shows.
I have not watched it yet because I plan on obviously binging it when my kids have arrived. So I'm just going to hold out till then.
Watch it, man. It is fantastic.
Watch it to prepare yourself for it.
Genuinely, actually.
Stumpfest is the best episode. Go for it, man.
So Demon Slayer has released the information for the final arc. So it's going to be released as the final arc will be released as 3 movies. And the first one being released in 2025.
Oh, as in
the Infinity Castle arc.
As in the anime or the manga?
The anime.
So is the manga finished?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Because this is the final arc. So yeah, I hope it's finished.
Not a 2025 one. I thought it was 2025, but I'd misread it. Dragon Prince final season is coming out in a couple of days, December 19th.
Is that good?
It's good.
I've seen the trailer. It looks good. I think it'll be my next to watch after Dororo.
See, I struggle with that half animated, half CG style animation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I've
He's
never been a
precious.
fan about it, and it always pulls me out of the story. It's like either give me CGI or give me like cartoon anime.
Yeah.
That sort of mix of both, I really struggled with it. And the only ones that pulled it off were Arcane.
The Dotaro or whatever it's called show. Do you
on
like
Prime.
it?
I'm only about 2 or 3
Dota.
episodes into it yet, so I haven't. It's so far it's okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'll hold judgment till I watch a bit more.
Fair enough.
I do want to add a disclaimer. I'm very easy to please when it comes to shows and stuff. So, like,
So am I. That's
Oh,
fine.
have you watched Gentry? Gentry, was it Gentry Wong? Was that Gentry Wong
No.
versus the
Oh,
Gentry
Underworld?
Chow.
Gentry Chow versus the Underworld on Netflix.
that's pretty sweet.
We talked about it last week.
No.
It'll be
I
up
watched
your
it like
alley.
the day
Okay.
it's on. It's like it looks like Scott Pilgrim versus the World style animation. And it's about a young Korean girl who, when she turns 16, she has to try and protect her soul from this demon. And
Okay.
she accidentally opens a portal to the underworld, and all these creatures start coming out. And she's got like fire powers and shit. It's really, really
okay,
cool.
Gentry.
Really good. Really.
Chow.
Gentry Chow versus the underworld.
CHOU, isn't it?
I don't know.
Okay.
It'll be there.
It's there on Netflix.
Sorry.
already.
Thank you.
Not TV related, but I thought it was pretty sweet. Robert Kirkman and Ryan Otley will reunite for a new Invincible comic series.
Oh, it's the Beastman one or whatever it is.
Battle Beast.
Battle Beast,
Set to
yeah.
release in April 2025.
He's a cool character in the Invincible comics. So I'm actually looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that should be sweet.
It should be good. Anyone who hasn't read Invincible, read Invincible. Oh my god,
Oh, 100%.
It's so good.
I haven't finished Old Man Logan yet.
Have you
Come
watched the cartoon yet?
down. No, you told me to read the manga
Well, you
comic
can do
first.
both. Have you ever watched Invincible or read the comics or anything? Do you know anything about Invincible?
No.
So basically, it's kind of a piss take on superheroes, but not at the same time. Essentially, it's like a kid whose dad is Superman, and he wants to get his powers, and eventually he gets his powers. And then, spoiler alert, it happens in the first episode anyway. Spoiler alert. The Justice League of this world, essentially, Omni-Man, who's the dad, just flat out murders him. And you find out he's like an alien from another planet who's sent to destroy the world and stuff. It's what's his name? JJ.
Abrams.
No, the guy that did JJ Jonasson in Spider-Man, and
Oh yeah.
he does the voice of Omni-Man, and it's such a good
Seth
and
Rogen.
And there's Seth Rogen, did all the produced it and stuff.
Yeah.
But the series, like up to issue, I think it's like 130 issues or something like that, is just so much lore and story in it. It's incredible. It's really
So,
good.
comic or manga?
Comic.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
comic.
color.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's
So I can't get it on my Kindle.
it's done by the guy who created Walking Dead.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
AJ will have a site for you to get it if you want it.
Yeah, done by Image Comics, so he owns the rights and all that kind of stuff. And
And
What?
then the cartoon is on Prime.
Yeah, okay, cool.
but
Cool,
there's 2 seasons. Season 3 is about to come out.
cool. Because I haven't quite gotten into comics yet because it just seems so overwhelming where to start. And now that they've got a couple of different like color e-ink readers out, I'm like, ooh, maybe this is the time to start.
Something is Killing the Kids. That's my recommendation.
Something
It's
is
my latest favorite comic. It is phenomenal.
Zach's getting a bunch of random text messages right now.
I thought I could hear it dinging outside.
Okay, well, so back to rumors. Whose turn was it?
I'll go because I know I'm
Jump
ready. So latest news reports indicate that Keanu Reeves was considered for the part of Soul in The Acolyte, and that he may be in an upcoming Star Wars project. Reeves was Keanu was filming Ballerina, the spin-off to John Wick, when work on the latest Star Wars show was taking place. But yeah, it seems to be that we'll see Keanu in the Star Wars universe pretty soon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. If it happens, I mean, sweet. If it doesn't, whatever.
I mean, I could see him like.
He'd be an awesome Sith Lord of some
I was
kind.
going to say because the picture that accompanied it, like,
Yeah.
looked he looked very Sithy. So.
Yeah, he's been bouncing around as a Sith Lord of some kind through various different like Star Wars iterations for a few years.
Yeah.
Like people just want it to happen, and it would be very cool to see.
Here's my biggest bullshit of it's happening. Media reports that in Thunderbolts we will see the return of Henry Cavill's Wolverine and a cameo by John Berthenel
Yeah, I
as
saw
Punisher.
that.
Apparently, Henry's Wolverine does belong to the MCU, and his claws are due to an experiment with adamantium that will see the Captain America's brave world.
See, when I read that and I knew that it was like the bullshit, I'm just like, it's bullshit, but I still really want it to happen. Like, I think that'd be awesome.
It's also one of those rumors that's so far-fetched that no one believes it, that it could be true at the same time.
I know.
I just imagine Cavill's he's just got too much on to sign a 10-year deal with Marvel.
Unless, you're right. But
they don't do small deals, Marvel.
No.
They're like, it's minimum 10 years.
Unless
like
he can get like
deal.
a 5-year cameo thing where half of his shots have already done because of his involvement in Deadpool and Wolverine, and then he can do something like 5 or 6 years or something, maybe. But
in fairness, he was coming back for Superman, but that was also before Warhammer. So
yeah, and I'd dedicate all your time to that and make that just fantastic. Please do not half-ass that in any way.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything?
I was going to say, I've got one more.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we hadn't spoken about this, but Malcolm in the Middle revival with the original cast is in the works at Disney.
4 episodes. Apparently.
And at first I thought, okay, fair enough, whatever. But then I actually seen a video with them all coming through to it.
Brian Cranston's coming out and done stuff,
Yeah,
So does it look good?
It's just like them filming themselves.
It's literally just the announcement.
Doing a little
so far.
skit kind of thing, yeah.
Just like a Malcolm, and then what's his name come through going, what? And that's like
he can't do much time. He's only got enough time to do 4. He's a professional NASCAR racer now.
Shut up.
Like,
He's
no,
not.
he is a professional NASCAR racer now.
Is he top NASCAR?
I don't think he's like up there, but he is.
No, I mean like not like one of the best, but like I don't think he's in the top league sort of.
I'm not sure. I know he's full-time professional, but yeah.
So after last week, me talking about Jim Carrey and his issues with being the Grinch, he's actually come back out and did an interview where he would like to go back and do Grinch the 2 if something could be worked out. He said, obviously now with motion capture and things, the makeup won't be a pain in the ass. But
the Grinch.
Well, apparently he's retiring. So
the retiring was before this, and obviously he's come out then, since then and done Sonic 3. And then
he came out and said the only reason he did Sonic 3 was
because he needed the money.
The money.
But yes, obviously, and then not long after that interview came out, then there was several the fan things of Grinch, how to save Christmas, 2026 and stuff coming out. So
my final one, and this is very exciting for me because season 1 and it was amazing. Season 2 has been amazing so far. Apple TV have dropped news today that its sci-fi epic series Solo, starring Rebecca Ferguson, has been renewed for seasons 3 and 4.
Silo.
That's what I said.
You said Solo.
Did I? There you go. Silo.
Hans will be upset.
4 being the last season. So
Nice.
I'm guessing because the first season was like only a quarter of the way through the first book.
Yeah, okay.
So
have you watched the second
3
season
books.
yet? Or?
I've watched the first 2 and a bit episodes, I think. Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
But yeah, it's fantastic.
Sorry, I just finished reading a quote I had for another one. It was back on the Jim Carrey bandwagon. So on playing both Gerald and Ivo Robotnik in Sonic 3, I was excited to do both roles until I realised it would be twice the work for the same pay.
I did say that.
I like that. Okay, let's get on to talking about some TV shows. So we're going to talk about our top 3 most anticipated TV shows of 2025.
Mm-hmm. We are indeed.
When we come back next year, we will talk about our most loved and most disliked movies and TV shows of 2024.
Yep.
Madam Web. But we will. I'm just not going to put it on my list because it's just unfair because everyone knows how bad of a fucking movie it was.
I was just going to say, Craven looks like it's outdoing it though.
I don't know. It's pretty fucking hard to outdo that rubbish.
Apparently, it bombed something fierce.
But again, it's one of those things where just because it's bombed, it doesn't mean it was bad. It means it just wasn't like necessarily well received.
Madam Web was a fire that you pissed on and still didn't go out.
Yeah, it was bad.
I've watched it. It's not good.
All right, so we're on to TV shows and our most anticipated of 2025. Alana's just looking at us like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
We don't get distracted at all.
So I cheated, as always.
Naturally.
I've got multiple.
I actually...
Before you cheated, did you have at least do the 3 and then just have honourable mentions?
No, I just wrote a whole heap of them.
Okay.
I almost just had a list of just anime shows, but I pulled it back to 1. I didn't cheat this week, unlike last week.
Okay, well, I'm going to start off with my first one, and this one I'm very, very, very keen for, and that's Alien Earth. I'm looking forward to Alien Earth, something fierce. So that those that don't know, Alien Earth is the TV series of the Aliens world with xenomorphs on Earth, and it's
an anthology series, yeah. Oh no, that's the other one. No, never mind. That's the other thing they're bringing through.
Set be in between Romulus and Alien. So it Romulus 2, I'm not sure where that falls in, where Romulus 2 is going to fall into it, because they're making Romulus 2 now. But it's set between Romulus and Alien. I think there's a 10-year gap in the timeline between the original Alien and when Romulus is set.
Something like that.
But yeah, I don't care what it's about. I'm just excited to see Xenomorphs on Earth done by people who actually care and has nothing to do with predators in it.
No, that'll be sweet.
Yeah, looking forward to it. All right, who's next?
I'll go. I almost had Harry Potter down, but apparently that doesn't come out to 2026 now. So
I thought it was 27.
yeah, look, I've seen different articles, so I'll wait till we actually.
The amount of special effects that it's going to take, it'll take a while to make.
Yeah, I'm down to see the remake or not the remake, the continuation of Daredevil.
Born Again.
Born Again, that's it.
Yeah, well,
So-
there you go. I can take that one off my list.
on my list also.
Yeah, because watching it on Netflix back in the day, highly enjoyed it. It was very good to watch. Was upset that it only got the 3 seasons it got, because it was quite a good show. And the actor that played Matt Murdock was, I thought, quite good. Charlie Cox, wasn't it?
Charlie Cox, yep. And
It was very
I'm
good.
just very excited
Had
that
Fulton Reed in it, so that was a good callback.
Well, they reshot the entire. They filmed the entire series. It was done, and they scrapped the entire series because the Marvel's like, it's not good enough. Scrapped the entire series, rewrote the whole thing, and brought in Foggy and I
forgot her name.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
her name,
all
but,
the old cast came back. And
Old Love from True Blood.
I'm sure that Punisher will.
Punisher's in it.
Yeah, I'll say
He's
Punisher will be
100% in it.
amongst it after obviously his inserts in the original series. So yeah, looking good. And I said it's been a great way to explore the Daredevil sort of backstory, because I didn't know much about him other than Ben Affleck's movie back in the day. So yeah,
my favorite thing about the original Daredevils, about Echo, Hawkeye, is what's his name? I can never say it.
D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio.
Kingpin.
He is.
Yeah, he
such a good fucking actor, man.
So
and
good.
he'd elevated that show beyond where it deserved to be.
Yes.
Like it deserved to be here, and he fucking brought it up here.
his scenes of just going from like somewhat calm
He's
to just
fucking
like
terrifying.
just rage bubbling under the surface was
terrifying
amazing.
human, and just the whole storyline with him, the wife, and all that kind of stuff was great, and it was just it was really good. And I look forward to seeing him become mayor. Is he going for the mayor? I think
he's going for the mayorship. Yeah.
He's going for the mayorship. So
Yeah, because the idea is that he's meant to sort of have that clean slate and whatnot.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So I'm very much looking forward to that as well.
100%.
What do you got?
I couldn't figure out how to find what I was interested in movies and TV show wise, but I've been a little bit of a cheat here. But Ranma One Half, which is an anime I loved as a child, a teen, and it doesn't exist anywhere. My hard drive has been wiped. It doesn't exist anywhere on the internet, but it's been rebooted on
It has,
Netflix.
yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that continues into next year, because I'm really enjoying rewatching
I
it.
imagine it would.
Yeah.
Like I think it's been pretty successful, because I see shit posted about it all the place, all online and stuff. And I can show you some websites after we're done of where to find
I would
it.
very much appreciate that, because I'm so devastated I don't have access to it anymore.
Yeah, I'll show you some of those magical websites online
Okay.
that you'll be able to find it at. All right, Brock, what do you got, mate?
The Sandman. I'm very keen for
Forgot
this
about
one.
this.
Yeah, so that's coming out in 2025. It hasn't been
I'll
said
take
when.
that one off my list as well.
Yeah, I have quite a big list as well, just in case that
Yep.
this occurs. But yeah, Sandman, loved the first season. It was just one of those real, like, it was a builder type show where it didn't just a whole bunch of stuff thrown at you. I've got a feeling they will probably sort of try and wrap it up because of Gaiman's cancellation and whatnot.
Extracurricular activities.
Yes,
That
exactly.
was my only potential negative with season 2, is the fact it will probably be the last of it. And
Well,
yeah.
it's season 1 was a very successful show
Yes.
for them. And I mean, he was heavily involved in season 1, but
Yeah. I think he was heavily involved in the writing to bring it to where it
just
is
because
already.
they've done
so-
things like they've cancelled Dead Boy Detectives, which is part of his shows
but
as well.
see, no,
I know that wasn't as
that was
successful.
cancelled before.
I know,
He was
but
cancelled,
yeah,
but it wasn't.
I just have a
successful.
feeling they will end it here just because of the whole Neil Gaiman being cancelled.
And Sandman is one of the most
one of his
successful
biggest
comics
ones.
ever created.
Yeah.
Because I'd love it for it to continue and to bring in like
definitely.
Lucifer and things like that. Like I think that'd be fantastic.
It's one of only 4 comics, I believe, that have ever been on New York Times bestseller list. I think it was that, Watchmen.
I'm not sure the others.
I think Dark Knight Returns, maybe.
Possibly.
And something else were on there. But yeah, it's one of the greatest comics ever written, and it is fucking phenomenal. In that first season, the pub episode where he meets the friend in the pub through every 10 years through the king. Oh, is it every 10 years?
I think it might be more
years.
every 100.
Every 100 years he meets him, and it's.
Have you watched Sandman?
No.
So essentially,
I'm using this as actually an opportunity to like write down what I need to be on.
Essentially, Sandman, the graphic novel is fucking amazing. It is so beautifully illustrated. Neil Gaiman, everyone knows, is an extremely talented writer, and this is no exception. The live action series on Netflix was so well done. There's an episode where
I'll say, just give like a basic premise of what Sandman is.
Oh, so Sandman is basically he's an Eternal. So he is Dream or Morpheus.
Yeah.
So he's the Eternals were essentially created when something in the human realm needed them to be created. So when the first person died, Death was born.
Yep.
When the first person dreamt, Dream was born. When the first person Lois, Sloth was born, blah blah blah. So there's I can't remember how many, like 8 Eternals.
I think that
brothers and sisters.
I thought there was 7, but there might be 9.
And like one of them carries a book around and he writes history in it and stuff like that. And essentially, the first episode is a guy wants to bring his son back who died in the war back to life. So he tries to capture Death, but accidentally captures Dream. And keeps him prisoner for generations. And whilst Dream's captured, no one dreams anymore. And it kind of sends some kids into permanent catatonic states and stuff, and that's all revolved later in the season, etc. But eventually he breaks out, and then it's kind of he has to go on a mission to get his utensils back. So one's a mask, which Lucifer's got. Another one is his sand, which someone else has got, and all that. And he meets like John Constantine in the comics, which they changed to Jenna Constantine.
I can't remember.
I think in the series, so they made it a female.
Can't
in the
remember.
Series.
It's been a while since I watched it.
And it's just beautifully shot, amazingly acted. The guy that was in Harry Potter, you watched Sandman, haven't you?
Yeah.
The guy in Harry Potter who plays the one who's got the gem in Sandman, in the cafe scene.
I haven't seen it in forever. Refer back to more Harry Potter stuff. I'll get it.
I don't know. He's amazing. So there's a scene where essentially this guy's got this gem and he can make people do what he wants them to do, kind of thing. And there's a scene in this cafe where I really don't want to say anything because it will spoil so much.
Okay.
And I still remember reading the copy going, holy fuck, like that's fucked. Like that whole thing is just eerie and it's just painful. I'm like, how the fuck are they going to do that in live action?
And they did it so well.
Did they do it so well in live action? Damn. But it was really, really good and highly.
Lupin.
That's it, yeah.
That was, yeah.
I highly recommend watching it and reading it. And you can buy, I'm hopefully getting it for Christmas. I asked my mum to get me for Christmas. But you can get these beautiful leather-bound books that are like A2 size, like yay thick, and they're just gorgeous, but they're like $230 per volume. And I think there's 6 volumes or something like that. They're gorgeous, but yeah, Sandman, amazing.
My husband's going to be really annoyed at you for telling me there's these beautiful editions. Because I love collecting beautiful editions.
You just wait. Like you'll see them and you're like, I need that in my life.
Chris was around the corner, you know. It's all good.
Back to me, was it?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. My next one, I have no idea what the series is about, but I love the writer. I love the movies that it's based on, and that is It, Welcome to Derry.
Yeah, that was on my list.
Lisa thought this was the remake of the Dairy Girls or something. She's so excited.
Don't just keep telling her it is. And see what happens when she watches the first episode.
She knows. She's like, is that more Dairy Girls? No.
So for those who don't know, it's a TV series that is based before the original It.
Okay, yeah. So we are talking Stephen King.
Yes.
Yeah, so Stephen King, it's based on, I'm not sure which of his Derry novels it is because he's got like 30 or 40 books that take place in Derry. So I'm gathering it's focusing on Pennywise. I'm hoping it has the turtle in it because for those of you who only watched the movies, Pennywise's arch rival is a turtle.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's a big
A
turtle.
normal. Oh, okay, not a
Because he's a
normal-sized
spider.
turtle.
He's a spider.
Yeah.
It's like Pennywise is a spider, and yeah, it's like an alien turtle.
Okay,
That's his arch rival in the.
See,
I'm pretty keen to
that's
see
in
what
it,
they do with it.
I'll definitely watch it if the turtle is in it.
I hope so.
That just sounds fantastic.
So do you say that because just normally in life spiders are terrified of turtles?
I don't know. I
Just the way you said it, because he's a spider, and I'm like, so are you telling me I get a
Oh,
pet turtle like no spiders?
I just most people think he's a clown.
Yeah, okay.
because that's how he's represented.
I didn't
but
know he
he's-
was a spider.
He's basically a giant fuck off spider.
Did not know that.
You see, I
have not
think
seen
in the
it.
new
It's in the
movies he
second
turns into
one.
a spider.
I haven't
Yeah,
not
there's
seen
a-
Maybe
it.
the first one? I
No,
can't
so I
remember.
think it's the second one at the end when he's fighting, and
Yeah.
and like he goes to throw the thing, he goes,
Yeah, yeah.
it just drops. That's
Yeah.
a good scene.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. So
All right, number 2.
Spider Noir. Again,
Is that next year? Is it?
believe so.
I thought it was 26 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, either way, I'm anticipating it.
I'm not 100% sold on it yet.
No, neither.
I just put it down as something because it's different. Obviously, it's a very different take on Spider-Man and what they could do with it here just was interesting. It might be a flop, it might not, but I'm just interested to watch it and see how it goes.
I'm very interested to see how
Let me just
Nick
confirm
Cage
it's-
plays it.
Yeah.
It could go many different ways.
Well, you get an idea with the Spider-Verse because he plays it in the Spider-Verse.
I feel like it's going to be a clone
copy.
copy of his character from Kick-Ass, though. Just with a noir twist.
Yeah, probably.
So,
Probably.
Yeah.
Nowhere on MGM's channel, then globally on Prime Video in 2025.
Nice.
There
Okay,
you go.
sweet.
Beautiful. Okay. Alana.
I just collected books.
Okay.
Yeah, the book section is just all going to be Alana.
All right, sweet.
Fair enough.
All right,
fair
Brock, what
But
do
I'm
you got,
taking
bro?
notes.
All right, because I had Daredevil taken off my top 3. I'll throw this one in there, but The Night Agent, season 2.
Oh, God, I love that show so much.
So that was one of those ones when it came out, it was one of those ones which it wasn't really spoken about too much.
They didn't market it
And
at
then
all.
it hit Netflix, and a few people said, "Oh, check it out, it's pretty good." And then a week later, you'd go back and talk to them, and they're like, "Oh, I finished it. Holy fuck, have you finished it yet? Like, are you up to it? This is amazing, this show."
Because I still
And
remember when
was
it came
great.
out, it was like the Friday night, and like because they all get released on Friday nights on Netflix, and I was sitting there and I'm just like, the fuck can I watch? And like it goes, like it just literally popped up and goes, new Night
Yeah,
Agent.
yeah.
I'm like, sure, put it on. First episode, I'm like, that was excellent.
Yep.
3 a.m. I just finished the series. That was really fucking good.
Really, really
So
good.
I watched the Undertaker's podcast, and he had Stephen Amell on it talking about the Heels
Oh, yeah.
wrestling show, and but they got to talking about how Heels now come to Netflix
Yes.
and with Suits LA, and saying how Netflix do that a lot with some shows. They rely on like the word of mouth, and so like they don't pour a bunch into marketing, and they just put it up there and let everyone else sort of do the marketing for them. So. They're hoping like because obviously when Suits went there, they got a lot of things got the Suits treatment then and like blew up and stuff. So
P.S. for those that you all need to watch Heels as well. It's a fantastic fucking show.
yeah, I plan on it now. It sounded fantastic from what I heard.
And I suppose one of the,
Alana's on a phone.
I suppose one of the things also like about that and the way that Netflix go around their sort of advertising is that that's also one of the reasons that their shows get cancelled because there's not enough hype.
Well,
one of
we've talked about their main reason why they
we
cancel
have
shows
talked about
before,
it.
yeah.
But one of the secondary inputs into it is that if the show isn't advertised, people don't watch it. Therefore, it just supports the reason of it's not viable to continue making it because no one's watching it.
The main reason they've never officially said it, but the main reason they cancelled the shows that never make it past season 3 is because after 3 seasons, you're not getting any new customers from it. So there's no point in continuing to make it. Whereas if you make a brand new show, you'll get new people signing up to watch that new show. Correct. So that's their main thing. But funnily enough, there's one show that has broken the record for the most seasons on Netflix, and that is Virgin River.
Yeah, because it's got its new one coming out
Yeah,
soon, which is season 7.
I believe.
Yeah, Lisa's thrilled for it.
It's not horrible. The first
Nah.
season did do a bit of like jumping the shark, where it's like there's marijuana growers on the mountains and stuff. Just leave it as a fucking rom-com and let's go there. You don't need to grow fucking marijuana into it.
I've got too many other shows I need to watch.
I've seen snippets. I've got no interest in it.
Yeah.
But,
sure
but
it's
Night Agent, back to that
Oh,
one.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic show.
Get on board that. I
you
don't
know
know
what
when
that one's about?
don't know when it comes
No,
out. but-
I've just sent a message to Zach.
So-
being like,
Basically, a dude is an FBI or CIA?
I think it's
CIA.
CIA. He does something wrong from memory, and he kind of gets punished, but doesn't get punished at the same time.
It's not even that he does something wrong. He does something, and then there's
that's
a guy
right. He stops a bomb on a train.
Yeah, and his punishment was to be put into as the night agent.
Yeah.
And the night agent is a guy who literally just sits and waits for a phone to call and be given a code, and then do whatever the response to that code is. And nobody's ever received a call.
They're like embedded agents.
Yeah.
If they get in trouble, they call this number, which had this dude sitting by a phone, and he'll like something. This is this person. All right, send agents out.
It's
help
the
them.
night shift.
Yeah.
And it never rings, and he gets a phone call, and it's from this girl. Her parents have been killed or something, and it turns out her parents are agents. Blah 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 blah. But really, really good. If you like that kind of American espionage kind of stuff, it's really, really good.
Really good.
All right, my last one, which isn't my last one.
We can do your honourable mentions at the end
Okay, well,
for the ones that haven't been said.
one of the ones I'm most excited about is, I'll say it, and it's because we've already talked about Invincible Season 3.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. But the other one is Wednesday Season 2.
I had that as well.
Yay!
Really looking forward to Wednesday Season 2.
I haven't watched season
I
one. yet.
love it.
Oh, do it.
Lisa watched it in like an afternoon without me.
Which
I'm
means
like,
you can watch it in an afternoon without her.
yeah, no, I've got other stuff.
It's one of the best things Tim Burton has done in a long time.
I've heard
really
good
It's
things.
very enjoyable.
And it's funnily enough, like I love Jenna Ortega in it. She was amazing.
I'm actually pretty keen to see Lady Gaga in this one.
But I love the
oh,
werewolf.
that's right.
The best friend werewolf. She
was
She
awesome.
made that show for me. She was fantastic. Her perkiness and over the topness compared to Jenna Ortega's like.
yeah,
blunt.
having the two there
Yeah.
and just that playing off of each other, with, as you said, the dark and the light was really well done.
Is Jenna going to be typecast as like this horror girl now?
I don't think she cares.
I don't think she cares either. I'm just asking, like, because I know like she played something similar in Beetlejuice, sort of thing.
I would.
Well, she did Beetlejuice. She was also in Scream.
She's in
the latest
Scream. She was
She was in a
iteration,
couple of
last couple
family
ones.
shows before that as well.
She was in the Richie Rich show way back when she was little because Bronx was watching it, and I'm watching it. And my
Not
wife,
the movie.
no, the TV show.
Right,
Amy
yeah.
comes up to me and goes, "You know who that little girl is?" I'm looking at her like, "No, that's Jenna Ortega." And I looked at her and went, "Fuck me, it is too." It's like a little fucking 8-year-old Jenna Ortega.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I want to see her in like a comedy, like a
Yeah, that's what I'm
family
saying, like,
comedy or
it's-
something. I reckon she'd be
She's
great.
been in
in
a
it.
Because
family comedy.
she was in.
Was she?
Was she not in the show that had Jennifer Garner in it, where the mums and dads had to, the mum and dad had to say,
Say
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Day.
So the kids got salty or whatever, and they go, all right, no worries, we'll say
That's not
yes
a
to
comedy.
whatever.
I want to see like a real comedy,
Yeah.
not like a family comedy. Family comedies aren't comedies.
I mean, you
To be fair,
literally
I thi-
said family comedy though.
Apologies.
I actually think that was a pretty good movie from memory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad.
It's very enjoyable.
Is it
all
like
right,
Adopt
so
the Kids or something like that?
no, I think it was their kids. I think they just like
No,
dad
you're
was
thinking
always
of the Mark Wahlberg one.
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
they
no,
got the
that's not
kids.
this one.
Mark Wahlberg and that Aussie
Yeah.
chick.
All right, so because I tried not to, I didn't cheat. I only put one anime season in, but this anime season I'm just all sort of hyped for. It's My Hero season 8, My Hero Academia. The
Final season, isn't it?
should be the final. So it was first season 7 was going to be the last one, but then they obviously decided to change it and bring it into season 8. And I'm just all sorts of fucking keen for this shit. Like, I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. If you haven't watched My Hero Academia, it's definitely an anime you could get into. Pretty quick
Yeah,
pacing.
it's very
it's-
user friendly.
And it's finishing now, so it'll be done.
Yeah, the final season will be
Okay,
out this
cool.
year. So basically, it's set around a kid who wants to become a superhero because like they all have quirks, which is like their superpowers. It's sort of like the norm. And it's set around a high school called My Hero Academia, where the kids go to school and learn how to be heroes and
Very
things
cool.
like that.
Like
And it's-
heroes are commonplace in the
Yeah.
world, kind of thing.
Yeah.
yeah, if you're don't have a superpower, you're the odd one out now, sort of thing. So
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But yeah, it's fantastic. The graphics in it are fantastic. The storyline's pretty straightforward. There isn't a lot of filler arcs in it, which is good. And most seasons are only about 20 episodes or 24 episodes
Yeah.
long, something like that. So, and when only 4 of those are running a filler, it's pretty good.
Nice.
One tiny thing: Jenna Ortega is a voice in Camp Cretaceous.
There you go.
Yeah.
Another reason to give it a gander.
Yeah.
All right, my last one. The Last of Us season 2.
Yeah.
I'm fucking keen for this.
Good careless.
Oh, season
so far behind
one.
so many
season
things.
one was so fucking good, so well written. It a good ode to the video game. It was an incredible adaptation, and I am so very keen for season 2 to come out. Amazing. Just to see where Joel and Ellie's story goes, especially from like the ending. I won't say too much, but the way that it ended in the end of season 1, it sort of leaves it at a place where what the fuck is going to happen? And those who have played the video game like sort of know how it plays out. I actually haven't played Last of Us Part 2 video game, so I'm very, very keen for this.
I just realised an honourable mention, which I'm hoping AJ will say, so I don't have to.
Okay, well, I've
rattle off your last one.
I'm going to quickly rattle off just honourable mentions. Stranger Things Season 5.
Yep.
It's finishing, thank fuck. Finally. And my other one that hasn't been said, and I'm really, really looking forward to, is Dan to Dan Season 2.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
I love Dan to Dan.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's so good.
So fucking
the manga
wacky
is amazing,
out there.
and it is
This
amazing.
is not an anime to start with. It's fucking weird
So
and
essentially
fucking out
taken
there.
aliens and ghosts and supernatural and went and just squashed them together, like forced them together. Like they weren't meant to be together. They forced them together. It's
You
fucking
watch
out
the
there,
first
man.
3 episodes and you're like, what? Just what?
Like
what?
the aliens want to cut off people's bananas. And
Their reproductive organs.
we want your
I
banana. We want to cut off your banana.
So basically, yeah, the premise of episode 1 is basically nerdy boy at school, just reads like all the like alien UFO mag sort of thing. Cute sort of popular girl stands in for him when he's getting bullied and goes, aliens aren't real, but ghosts are, and so they dare each other. So he has to go to a ghost site. She has to go to a reported alien site. And of course, they both meet aliens and ghosts at the same time, and problems ensue. They then sort of end up having powers and things, and are now going around fighting ghosts and aliens.
Okay,
and
that's
it's fucking amazing.
That's an awesome premise.
Yeah.
So fucking like,
Fucking out there, man. It's amazing.
You watch again, it's got an intro that's just it's fire.
Yeah.
Like the intro is just brilliant, which makes the show even
The song
better.
is by what are they called? I learned it today, and I went and watched their film clip, and the film clip's even fucking out there. I can't remember it says it on the intro, but yeah, it's awesome.
So what was it called?
Dan to Dan.
Dan da Dan. So DANDADAN.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So my honorable mention, which I thought you would have said, is Reacher season 3 comes out in February 2025.
Yes, I'm very much looking
I
forward to
will
that.
need
Is
to
that the
watch
big
it.
bloke?
Yeah,
I need to
Alan
watch. I need to
Rickman.
watch season 1 and season 2, but I'm keen for it. So.
And he's got this baddie in it who is 7 foot. 7 foot
We've
2 or
started
something,
season
yeah.
1. I just can't remember where we're up to. But
Season 2 is so good as well.
Yeah.
And season 3 looks like it's going to be, and he's already been renewed for 4 and 5, I think. Or just
I think he's keen to
4. I'm
keep
not sure
going
if-
basically until there's a reason to stop.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about 5, but I think 4.
4, yeah.
And,
And
I,
then
I think
there's a spin-off.
I think they'd spoken about 5 potentially being the last season though.
And then there's a spin-off of the
Yep.
chick from number 2, season 2, which is going to be good.
Did you have any other ones?
No,
to
that
throw
was
at
that. I
Okay.
just thought of that
I'll-
one when he
I'll
mentioned the Night Agent. So
quickly throw these ones out there. But your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, that's coming through. Andor, pretty keen to see season 2 of that because season 1 was awesome. Marvel Zombies is coming out, which will be sweet. Blood of Zeus, I really like that animation.
good?
Yeah, I really like it.
yeah, because
It's quite
there's
good.
2 seasons out already, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, highly recommend it. It's a really good portrayal of like all that mythology and whatnot. The Witcher.
I'll give it a
I'm
go.
keen to see what they do.
I didn't even finish the last season.
I'm
Oh,
interested.
really? I did.
The last season was definitely rushed because it felt like at least 2 seasons worth of content they just smashed together the one for him.
They've veered from the book.
That too, but
I'm going to give it a
and the
go.
books are so fucking good.
are they continuing as Geralt or is he going
Yeah,
to be
no,
New Witcher?
it's still Geralt.
Oh, see, that's where I think they've missed a trick.
I think I'll know. So I'm keen to see what they do, and I think I'll know if I finish the season after about 15 minutes.
And also, the other news that's coming from the Witcher season, Witcher 4 was announced
Yep.
at the Game Awards, I believe it was,
yes.
and Cersei is going to be the main character.
Yes.
So Geralt is gone. Cersei is the main character.
I think he was going to get an appearance.
Okay, on to some films. Films that we are looking forward to this year. I'm going to chuck this one out because I guarantee this is going to be on Brock's list, and that is 28 Years Later.
I was going to say that just for you guys too. It's not on my list, but I knew it was on your too.
That's my number 1.
Cannot fucking wait for this movie.
That's my number 1.
I have
So hyped.
many hours on a plane in my future, and I plan on, if they're there, watching both of them.
Oh, so hyped for 28 years later.
So that one's coming out in June. What we'll do is we'll plan ahead a little bit, and in May we'll do 28 weeks later.
Are we doing a watch party like you did with Daredevil and Wolverine?
Sure.
Oh, you two seem very hyped for this movie, so I figured that's what was happening.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Like in terms of we all go to the movies.
Yeah, we'll record in the car and forget to press the record button and miss out on half an hour of a conversation. That's what we did on the way to Daredevil.
I was a fan at the time I watched.
Yes.
I listened. I heard.
What do you got?
Oh, I didn't know if you were going to add a second one into that one.
We spoke about it a fair bit last week. So.
So I've gone out there a little bit. But my first one is probably the most mainstream of them, which will be Ballerina. Obviously, the John Wick spin-off.
That's on my list.
I'm looking forward to that because anything John Wick so far has been fantastic.
I love Ana de Armas, man. I love her. I love her in action role. She stole James Bond for me. She was so good in James Bond in that 5-10 minutes she's in that movie for. She stole that movie for me. She was fantastic.
I know the John Wick movies are basically, they were point and click, just endless stream of bad guys and Keanu just fucking them up as they go in different places. But
it's fantastic.
It was done well, and as I said, the lore in there with the table and things like that, it was fantastic, and I'm excited for anything that's going to further explore that universe.
What's the premise of it?
So she is essentially part of the Russian family that you meet in John Wick 3.
Okay.
I think it is.
Yes, 3.
Yeah, and
So this one's between 3
and
and
it
4.
will actually it's going to show scenes from John Wick 3 from her perspective. Well, that's what it kind of shows in the trailer.
Yep.
Like scenes from when John Wick visits the Russian ballet school where the one of the table members runs kind of thing, and she's a part of that family, and it kind of looks like it's going to be her. It's kind of John Wick's story of how John Wick got started, but they've just sort of moved it to a different character. Is kind of what it looks like.
Cool.
I'm not as keen for it just because I'm very, very worried that we've seen a lot of it in the trailer already. I'm worried that they've fallen into that trap.
Yeah,
but I know that they're also doing a lot of reshoots. So
because I know the director, the original John Wick director, came back and said this wasn't good, and then
this wasn't good, and this was
sort of thing.
And also some things where that's wrong. You can't actually have that in there because of lore and stuff.
Yeah, and because it's set, as I said, it's a John Wick 3.5. Some things they had done, obviously, then retconned John Wick 4. But in saying this, as I said, the storylines for John Wick are straightforward, but they're always done really well, so it doesn't matter that you've seen a lot of the things in the trailer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Definitely looking forward to that. And there is a prequel animated series or something coming for John Wick, isn't
an
it?
anime.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's, as I said, I'm just remembering bits and pieces of conversations we've had. That's where they're going to explore him trying to get out.
Buying the dog. It's just an anime of him buying a dog. That's all it is.
Oh. So it's not.
No, I'm joking.
Oh.
I was so I
was so keen for this, and now it's just gone.
My understanding is that it was about him becoming Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
And then I
so
think
a bit more of a prequel, not the John Wick, just before John Wick 1 sort of thing.
No.
I just love the fact that 4 movies, a TV show spin-off, and now a movie spin-off from a dog getting killed.
Yes.
Hey,
pretty
brilliant.
much.
That's what started this.
Man's best friend. Don't fuck with it.
A dog got killed. The dude lost his shit.
Don't fuck with it.
the most relatable of beginnings.
And he lost his shit so calmly too.
Have you got some movies for us?
No, I didn't know how to do this. I was like,
That's
I'll find
alright.
things. And then all of a sudden, I'm on different book pages and I found no movies.
Any
She
any
goes down
trailers or
rabbit
anything
holes.
you've seen for movies that are coming out next year that you're interested in?
We haven't been in movies in ages, so I haven't seen any trailers. And yeah, I'm feeling very behind on my visual
enough.
content. I've read 58 books this year, so that's where my time has gone.
Fair enough. So
Literally, the book section, we'll just mute and we'll just let her talk.
What do you got, mate?
I went backwards and forwards on this one because I am keen for it, but I'm also getting really sick of the hype around it. Superman.
I'm
keen to see it. It's sort of like that. It's the first
trailer
live
drops
action.
tomorrow at the time
Trailer
of
comes
recording
out
this.
tomorrow. But
the teaser trailer.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Like I'm getting, and that's why I went back
Drop
and
the
forwards.
fucking trailer.
That's why I went back and forwards because like there's been so much hype around a teaser trailer coming out that it's like this is coming out next week. Oh no, wait, it's coming out a day before. No, it's coming out a day later. Oh wait, it might not come out now. It's coming, and you're like, guys, it's a fucking trailer. Calm down.
The movie's not even out yet, and we're already bored of it. Like Superman is
enough,
just boring.
That's the problem.
Well, funnily enough, I just hope DC fails.
I don't.
I don't, because I want to
just hope
see a
James Gunn fails.
I don't.
Because The Batman was great. Penguin was great.
Yes.
Just keep making those fucking those movies that have no interconnected universe. Things don't need to connect. Apparently, the Howling Commandos, whatever. No, it's Marvel. Creature Commander. Apparently, it's shit.
Oh, really? I haven't watched it yet.
I've read a whole heap of reviews.
I want it to be
everyone's
successful
bagging on
purely
it.
so that way, as I said, we can get more interesting heroes like Batman and things out there. But Superman's just fucking dull.
We'll see what happens. See what happens.
I agree with that. Okay, my next one is Tron Ares, the third
This
Tron
is on my
movie.
list.
I haven't seen any of them.
Oh, the OG Tron.
I think I just turned. No, I'm good. I just went
The OG Tron was. It's
Sorry, guys.
It's an old movie, so it's dated. But you watch it, and it's for when it was made. You're like
70s?
Wow, like that's some.
Oh, so is the
craziness.
Tron that was released in
Yeah, Jeff
our
Bridges.
teenage years?
Yeah.
Was that the second one?
That's the second one. So Tron Legacy was the second one, and that was
It's something
really
with
good.
and like a
Jeff Bridges
futuristic
came back.
bike or something, isn't it?
no. So they get sucked into a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and rides a bike. Yeah,
Yep.
I
And
just remember a space bike.
I
or some
loved.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm one of
With
the
the
people who
lights.
loved Tron Legacy. I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
Daft Punk done the fucking soundtrack, which was amazing. And I'm really looking for Jared Leto's in this one, and
Yes.
the soundtrack is done by
Sam, my mate Sam will hate it now.
Yeah.
someone fantastic doing the soundtrack.
Leto's
this
fucking
time.
hit and miss, unfortunately.
Yeah, he really is.
Morbius,
you
miss.
But I just love.
big fucking
I love
miss.
the whole lore of Tron. So I think it should be good, and special effects will hopefully be amazing, just like the second one.
If they were as good though as they were in Legacy, they should just naturally.
Legacy still fucking holds up.
I
too,
know.
man. It still holds up, except for like the uncanny valley of young Jeff Bridges.
Yeah,
But
that's
that's-
right. Yeah, but you can put up with that one because
De-aging. He's meant to be a computer program.
exactly.
So,
So that one was sort of like you had the young Jeff Bridges there with Jeff Bridges because the young one was a video game. So that kind of balanced it out for me.
and I mean, Jeff Bridges is always a fucking win.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
All right, my next one is the Karate Kid Legends, purely because I hope it's fantastic.
Have you watched the
purely-
trailer yet?
Nope.
Yeah, I've seen it. Dropped yesterday,
yeah.
today. Yeah.
Purely because of nostalgia features. Watching Cobra Kai, it's still entertaining. So yeah, hoping this comes out and it's fantastic as well.
Yeah, this is one I couldn't care about.
My only negative on this one, or not so much a negative, but one thing I'm a little... Cobra Kai rebooted it, so I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more around the lead in that. I've just gone blank on his name.
Oh, the
Ralph
younger kids.
Macchio.
No, not Macchio. The other guy.
Cobra Kai guy.
Yeah, the Cobra Kai. I kind of wanted to see him brought into it and sort of like let him continue
Well,
that
I said
thing.
I
but-
haven't seen the trailer, so I don't know. And there's always a possibility. Obviously, they just haven't put him in the trailer or
potentially.
things like that. But yeah, it said like I'm interested to see what the storyline is. It said it's something from childhood, the nostalgia pool there. So we'll wait and see if it is any
So
good.
from the trailer, essentially,
It looks
it
okay.
shows Jackie Chan rocks up at Mr. Miyagi's house,
Yep.
and he's like, oh, Mr. Miyagi's dead, blah blah blah, and he's, I'm not here to see Mr. Miyagi, I'm here to meet you. I need your help to train this kid.
Yeah.
That's the storyline.
It
Pretty
looks
much.
okay.
Brock,
Fantastic Four, First Steps.
yeah, this is on mine. Yep.
Very, very keen. I don't know. It's like sort of the start of phase 6, I think it was. Yeah, so start of phase 6. So keen to see him get rid of that multiverse element to it. I think this will sort of be the start of them getting rid of that, and I'm keen to see where it goes. It just feels like a bit of a reset for the MCU. I don't know, introducing some new characters. We haven't really seen new characters or new big characters in a while, so I'm keen to see.
But it'd be
just the
interesting to see how
actors, man.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how
Oh,
this
yeah,
goes. Obviously,
incredible
considering
actors.
it's the third representation of the Fantastic Four.
I wouldn't. Yeah, there was one
Yep.
in
There was
the
one.
90s.
Roger Corman made one way back and when, just because
Yep.
Fox owned the rights and they needed to make something to keep the rights.
Yeah.
So it's
So
one
they
of
made
those.
it and it never got released.
It's one of those things where you can go back and you can find a lot of superhero movies that are not really heard about for a
Yeah, there's
reason.
a couple of Captain America movies,
Captain
there's a Thor
Americas,
movie, Thor
Flash.
vs. Hulk, Flash, there's a Flash TV series.
Probably the most successful one was probably Hulk.
Lou Ferrigno's Hulk TV
Yeah.
series, yeah.
yeah, that's one that's still quite well known. So yeah.
Besides Superman, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And then Tim Burton's Batman, etc., etc. Okay. What have I got here? That's been said. Fear Street Prom Queen.
Oh, yep.
looking forward to this one. So this is going to be on Netflix. Fear Street is essentially Goosebumps, but for older adults, like older people, not young adults, more adulty. There's a trilogy on Netflix already, which was really, really well done. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And this is a standalone one that's coming out, and I'm just hyped for it. Because the first three were awesome.
I still haven't seen the second two. I need to go watch them because the first one was really good.
The first one's good, and then the second one jumps back in time to a...
All three of them jump back because the first one's the most modern time.
The first one's a modern one, and then it carries on with the characters, but it jumps back in time to a summer camp of the main character and her sister. And then he comes back to modern time at the end of it.
Okay.
And then the third one starts in modern time, and there's like a whole heap of ghosts and shit. And then it jumps back to like
1600s.
like Turkey Gobble Day.
Yeah.
What's it, Thanksgiving time?
Turkey Gobble Day.
I am so mad that
when Americans and Thanksgiving.
I understood.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like you said that. I'm like, that should not make any sense. I know
It's
exactly
up there with hexagonal.
Jesus Christ.
So that then jumps back into modern time kind of thing again. It's really enjoyable series. So yeah, Fear Street Prom Queen.
Yeah, all right. So my last one is different to basically everything we've spoken about so far, and it's Better Man, the Robbie Williams biopic, where he's a monkey.
I'm looking very much forward to this. I love Robbie Williams.
I know they were same takes but done very differently in terms of Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man, but thoroughly enjoyed both of them, and hoping I'll enjoy this one too. So
I enjoyed Rocket Man more than Bohemian Rhapsody.
I enjoyed Queen a lot more, so that's why I think I enjoyed Bohemian Rhapsody. So.
I prefer Queen over Elton John. Like I couldn't give a flying fuck about Elton John. I think it was just a much better movie. Much better movie. And also they took a lot of liberties with the story for Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah. Of when the events actually happened and stuff, just to make it a bit more dramatic. But no, this one looks awesome. And I was loving the trailer where right at the end he comes out and he goes, I'm gonna be famous. And the guy goes, shut the fuck off.
But yeah, I think that'll be fantastic. The concept of the monkey is definitely weird and wacky, but that's, you look at some of his film clips and he's weird and wacky. So
I was going to say, when we seen the trailer, that was the biggest draw for me, the fact that it is going to be the monkey doing the portrayal. I'm like, you know what, that's got me in. I couldn't give a shit about Robbie Williams.
So I'm like, turns out, so he was doing an interview the other day that I listened to part of it, and turns out a lot of this was shot a long time ago when COVID restrictions were still in place.
Yeah, right.
And so therefore he couldn't actually get there because he would have had to be away from his family for too long, and he didn't want to do that. And in the end, the guy that is actually like the body capture for it, he's got more of a monkey like body shape anyway, so it's probably will look better than if he'd done it anyway. So
yeah, right.
But yeah,
interesting fact. I did not know that. There you go.
There you go.
All right, what's your last one?
Well, my last one was 28 years later, so I'm going to have to pick from the other list, but I'll just go with the first one on that list. And Mickey 17 comes out in January, the one with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, this looks really interesting.
I'm pretty keen for this.
So this one is basically he signs up, and his useful skill to this company is he's expendable.
Yes.
And so basically they end up
cloned.
They end up cloning him, and they test his clones on how he dies in all these different ways. But eventually, I believe it's obviously the 17th
like
Mickey.
black comedy.
Yeah.
The 17th Mickey survives over and comes back and meets the 18th Mickey, and then all of a sudden you've got all these different Mickeys around there.
It looks like a comedy version of The Moon, if you've ever seen The Moon.
I have not.
Which is David Bowie's son wrote and directed it.
I do love sci-fi though, and that sounds
But yeah, this looks very interesting.
And it is based on a book.
Oh,
I can't remember what the book's called, but it
not
is
Mickey
based on a book.
17?
No.
I'll look it up.
I think it was actually called something else.
Mickey,
I think it was called like Mickey 19 or something random like that.
Okay, my last one, and then we can do some quick mentions. My last one that I'm very, very interested for.
Sorry, the book was called Mickey 7.
There you go. It was close.
The trailer just caught my interest straight away, and that is The Gorge. It's Miles Teller and
this dropped not that long ago.
Blonde girl from the chess show.
Yeah, yep.
But yeah, and it's all about they've got to protect their side of the gorge, and then and you don't really know why. Then it's all of a sudden like there's monsters in the gorge.
Yep.
And then no, it's a gateway to hell, kind of thing. And it just looked the trailer just sucked me right in. I'm like, I've got to watch the shit out of that movie.
I don't think it's.
Watch that trailer.
I haven't watched it. It's only come out in the last week or two, maybe the trailer. Oh, okay. But yeah, even just the intrigue, like with Miles Teller and the other actor, and yeah, it looks.
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Taylor-Joy, that's the one.
But now that you've said the premise, that looks pretty sweet. I don't think it's actually that far away.
I don't think so. It's pretty soon,
like February or something.
Yeah. All right. So, what's your quick rattle off of other movies you're excited for?
I'm interested in the Peaky Blinders movie, but I don't know when that's coming out. So that's it, really.
Fair enough. Well, Thunderbolts, Captain America, we've got them coming through. Jurassic World, so that movie is going to drop, so I'm keen to see what they do.
We're getting another one.
We are getting another one.
ScarJo's in it.
Yep.
So it's a continuation, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a continuation,
Is Chris
yeah.
Pratt still in it?
No, all new actors. It's based.
So this will be.
know.
It's a continuation, but effectively it's a new trilogy they're releasing.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Scarlett Johansson is the main character.
The Conjuring, Last Rites.
I could not care.
I like
so
them.
much interest in that series.
Yeah, you get that. And the Electric State, I'm pretty keen to see that one as well when it comes
Yeah,
to
it looks interesting.
Was
Yeah,
that
it looks very
the
interesting.
one
Russo
with-
brothers.
Yeah, with
Old love from Stranger Things.
Millie
Bobby Brown.
Yep, and it's like a robot sci-fi.
no, that's not what I was thinking of. I was thinking
Chris
of.
Pratt as well.
I was thinking of the one with.
Y2K.
No, they go. It's like in America. It's like the race war and stuff like that. We watched the trailer. We talked about the trailer a while back.
Can't remember.
I thought that was that, but no, the robot one.
Oh,
was,
Civil War.
No, I'll find.
No, that's already
I'll
out.
find.
It'll annoy you unless you find it.
Okay, so my other ones I'm looking forward to, but not as much as the ones I announced, were Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. So that'll be good to finally see the end of that. And Novocaine, which is
Yes, this looks fucking amazing.
yeah, which is Jack Quaid, e.g. from The Boys, Dennis Quaid's son, and he can't feel pain.
Oh yeah, I
And
seen
his-
this the other
And
day.
his girlfriend or the girl he likes gets kidnapped, so he goes to try and save her, and it's just a series of people hurting him, and he can't feel pain, so he's like kind of like a superhero.
Yeah.
And it just looks funny as fuck.
Yep.
The worst kind of, like the actual condition that gives you that is like the worst freaking superhero
Yeah,
though.
and there's like parts of it like where he's trying to fight this big guy who's like so much more tougher than him. So there's broken glass, so he just punches the ground where the glass is there, glass in his knuckles, and
Yep.
uses it as like
That's cool.
glass knuckles and
It's
shit.
like the
and-
scene in the trailer where he's like, the gun is like sizzling away in a vat of like hot oil, and he's like, okay, then just picks it up. Or he's swinging the hot iron skillet, and the oil light catches it, and then he just has that moment of, oh, this is fucking hot.
There's one scene he's like tied up and he's getting tortured, and the guy's like, "Yeah, does that hurt?" He's like, "Yeah." Oh,
the pain.
the pain, so much pain.
That sounds fucking epic.
So that looks interesting. Okay, so on to page flip books.
Are we talking about
You
secret level?
used to have a thing.
Did I?
Yeah, we laughed about it.
Thing.
Books. Weren't we talking about secret level 2 on TV shows?
Yeah, we've run out of time for
Okay.
that.
Oh, good.
Books.
Or
All
we
right,
don't-
I'll start us off, Alana. What do you
All
got?
right. So I was really excited to do this because I was trying not to buy new books, and now I found a whole bunch that I want.
Whoops.
That's
Sorry,
what
Zach.
we're here for.
So V.E. Schwab, who's one of my favorite authors, has a new book coming out next year, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I actually went to a book signing in Comic-Con for V.E. Schwab. So that was my second panic attack, was in the line for that. So I didn't even say like hello to them, I don't think. But that is coming out next year, June, I think. Yeah, June. It hasn't been announced. There is literally no word on it, but I'm hoping Electro the Ninth, which is the fourth and final book in the Gideon the Ninth 4-book series. I'm hoping that will come out next year. I've read the first 2 books, and like I spent like $300 or $400 on these 3 special editions of the first 3 books before I'd read them. Like that's how committed I was to the fact I was going to love them. I love them so much, but I cannot bring myself to read the 3rd one until I know that the 4th one's coming out. So hopefully that comes out next year. It's a Lumicrate, one of the special edition boxes over in the States, in the UK. It's their 10th anniversary of existence, and they've announced their first special edition set, which just so happens to be the Scythe series by Neil Shusterman. I spoke to you guys about a different Shusterman novel last time I chatted to you guys, the one where
You told us a lot of weird fucking
yeah, it was the
remember this
weird. It
one.
was the weirdest one where like they can pull kids apart for their organs. So
Oh,
that's,
I remember that one.
So
yeah.
that's the book series that I'm starting next when I finish my current book.
I'm really keen to see what you think of that. So this is a different series by the same author. It's also young adult. It's a sci-fi set in a world where we've reached the point where like you can live forever. But because of population and like Earth's resources, that's not the most ideal of situations. So there are these people who are called scythes, whose job it is to kill to keep the population
Yeah,
running.
right.
There's also like an AI element in it. It's really cool. You follow these characters that are training to be scythes.
Okay.
And it's a very good series. I've already read it. I own it already. I think I only own one set though, so I'm definitely going to be getting this special edition set when it comes out.
Only the one set.
Only the one set. And then one of my auto-buy
Need
authors.
a backup.
Yeah, well, I have multiple sets of autos. Like, if you go on my shrine, like I have a Schusterman shrine, I have a Schwab shrine. They get multiple copies.
Sure.
And then Claire North, who is one of my favorites. Like she writes standalone sci-fi novels that are really thought-provoking. She's got another novel coming out next year called Slow Gods. I have no idea what it's about. I don't care. Anything she writes, I buy.
Fair enough.
I actually have one. Brendan Sanderson's Stormborn. Is it Stormborn?
Stormlight Archive.
Stormlight Archive. The last book comes out. Actually, I think it might be this year. Actually, it comes out.
Yeah, right.
But it's the last one in his series for that series, which I've read the first two books for, I think, from memory.
Yeah, okay.
So the last one of that's coming out.
Yeah, right.
And I only learnt because Nerdforge on YouTube. It's the Swedish chick. I think they're Swedish. She did A2 leather-bound copies for him and then flew them all the way to America
really?
at a convention and to give them to him.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, I saw that clip on TikTok.
And like the books are like
Yeah.
thick, and they actually got permission from his team to legally print the books out at that size, and they got the new book, the manuscript for the new book, and they were allowed to print one copy
For
only.
Wow.
And if they ruined it, that was it. They weren't allowed to print another
Sure.
copy and stuff. And they said the whole time they were buying it, they were just trying not to read it, just so they could actually enjoy it when it comes out and
That
stuff.
is
Yeah.
cool.
But they turned out beautiful as well. So if you get a chance, go on YouTube and look up Nerdforge, and like they are some very pretty leather-bound books.
And funny
you would pay a lot of money for them.
I will.
And funny you say that because the current book that I'm reading is number 3 in that series.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm currently I'm at the back end of it. Got about
And
20% to go.
I have another one that is kind of a book, not a book. It's a light novel. So in Japan, their light novels are kind of half manga, half book kind of
cool.
thing. So like there's like 4 pages of novel style writing and then like a picture that's drawn in manga style and then another 4 pages. And one I've been reading lately is It Okay to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? It's called. And it is a stupid name, but the story is phenomenal. It's based on the gods give up their godlyhood and come to Earth, and they make these things called familiars where they get people to come and they are like essentially adventurers that join their familiar and they venture into these dungeons, and as they get stronger they can venture down further and further and further into the dungeon and the new levels and stuff, and it's kind of got an RPG aspect where they can level up and learn magic and stuff, and it's a really, really good like show, and there's an anime of it which is but the last arc is happening next year, which is like the last couple of books, however many light novels I'll have kind of thing. But I presume it'll probably be like 2 or 3 usually.
Yeah, right.
So the last arc of that's happening next year, which will be cool.
I'm just hoping for any new Slayer books from the Black Library to release with GoTrek or any Cypher's Canes because I enjoy reading them and
Because Horus Heresy is finished now, isn't it?
Yeah, that finished. That came at the start of this year.
No, that's right. They had the debacle where like scalpers were buying the book and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, the final book was released in three parts. So
Yep.
I need to. I'm finishing the Slay series again at the moment, and then I'll be moving on to finishing that because that'll take me forever. I'll be probably cherry picking books because it's a 64 book series, and I shan't be reading all 64 again.
I got.
Well, Lana knocked over 58 this year, so
I got probably halfway through it.
you've got a year to go.
I've knocked over maybe 5.
Yeah, I think I got halfway through Heresy, and that was with cherry picking.
I'm pretty sure I read all the way up to about probably around the 25 to 30 mark, and I stopped because time was an issue. I just finished, uni where I was catching the bus, and that was a perfect reading time. And
Well, I audio booked them.
yeah, I'll move something to that. I'm definitely moving to more ebooks as well because it's easy if like I'm out shopping with Lisa and she's in the shoe department. I'll sit down and start reading a few pages of a book sort of thing. But yeah, I got to about about the 30 mark, but then they released like 3 books back to back, which were just short stories.
Yeah, see, they're the ones I didn't read.
Yeah, it was like, it's interesting, but no, I just want the storyline, please. So I'll probably go back and cherry pick a few and definitely finish that because it is such a huge part in the game that has been such a huge part of my life. So I probably should actually do the right thing and read the important books anyway.
There are a couple of them as well that I started and got about probably 2-3 hours into the audiobook and just went, this is fucking horrible.
So yeah, if you want a sci-fi series to read, the Horus Heresy, it's basically so it's 64 books, but some of them are just short story books that you can probably skip. But basically,
you can go online and say which ones do I need to read that are actually in the continuity,
and then you can also do like the Marvel thing of like read these in what order. Like you don't have to read them in book 1 along sort of thing.
Yeah, because there's like the first Heretic, which is like actually it's like the 14th book.
But it's actually
like the first story to happen.
How the story actually kicks off sort of thing. So, but basically, it's based on the Warhammer 40k tabletop war game.
Is the first book Xenos?
No, that is one of them.
That's one of them.
But no, the first book is
Galaxy in Flames is 3.
Horus Rising.
Horus Rising is book 1. Yep.
Okay, so is Xenos the first book in a different series?
Yes.
Oh no! So you're thinking of the
Eisenhorn?
Yes.
You're thinking of the books that I think Xenos was one of the first ones that came in. You could get the subscription, and you got 2 books a month subscriptions from whatever that European mob that it is that do that.
The Black Library.
No, it's like a subscription-based thing where you pay $40 and you get 2 books a month.
Okay.
And like there's like 60 books.
But no, like so
Xenos was one of the first ones.
The Black Library is basically the book series for Warhammer. So they release all like different ranges for different factions in the games and things. But so Warhammer 40k is basically this futuristic science-based, sci-fi-based game where you have super genetically engineered humans, which are called Space Marines.
Yeah.
The Horus Heresy, though, is set...
it's set in the 31st millennia. Whereas 40k is based in the 41st millennia.
So it's basically the prequel to the game and basically goes how the Emperor went out to conquer all the galaxy, conquered it, left it to his sons, who are these 20 super Space Marines. And they basically then started to turn on each other and it became a giant civil war between all these like super engineered humans and things.
Right.
But then like demons come into it.
Yeah.
Because Zach's been recommended the
Eisenhorn?
Eisenhorn.
Eisenhorn is fantastic.
Is he right to start with that or does he need to start with
that?
No,
that's not a part of the heresy.
No. Only because he's in the car right now and if he's finished the other book, that's what he's starting. And I hate to lead him astray.
No, that's not a part of heresy.
Okay, cool.
As I said, like then inside of like the Black Library, there are like random heaps of series and things. So like you've got the Eisenhorn series, you've got the Ultramarines. Cypher's Kane is a fantastic sort of like comedy one where the central character basically goes out and does his best to go, I'm important, but I'm going to do this job over here, which seems really safe, and all the war is going over there. But then while he's doing that, he actually uncovers some like super secret
it's
plot
very,
things like that.
it's the Warhammer 40k version of Dirk Gently. If you've ever read Dirk Gently.
Blackadder is another one that's been compared to like
so
that. Like,
Dirk Gently is Douglas Adams, who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yep. It's essentially, he's a holistic detective who kind of, things just happen and he just accepts that things happen. That's the universe telling him to go a certain way or do something. Okay. And like everything just sort of works out for him and that's how he solves cases. He doesn't actually go and investigate. And it's a fantastic book. He was going to write more before he passed away. But there's a TV series on Netflix with
Lisa and I just started that.
With Frodo.
Oh, cool.
And it's awesome. And there's like a holistic murderer who only just murders people because, you know, that person needed to die in order for certain things to happen for the universe and stuff, and nothing can stop her from murdering people. And it's just awesome. And it's one of those series where like you see things in the first episode and you don't even think about it. And then in the last episode, you're like, oh, fuck. It's really well done.
We started watching it and I was like, no, wait, I have to rewatch this episode because I wasn't fully paying attention and I need to.
It got cancelled, but there's only a couple of unanswered questions, really.
Yeah. Okay.
Each season is like a case kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the book is very Douglas Adams. If you've ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it's that same sense of humor and weird writing that Hitchhikers has. And yeah, I love them. he's probably my favourite author. So
I think you would enjoy Cypher's Kane books.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'd be right up your alley. They're fun. As I said, and they're pretty good to introduce new people to like 40K as well, like the different factions and things like that. But yeah, it's very entertaining.
Full transparency, it was on my list to read after Stormlight Archive until Lana introduced me to the the very strange corpse use.
15 Hours is a pretty good book too.
Oh, they're not corpses. They're alive. When they
sorry,
put them
they're
apart,
alive.
yeah.
Yep, that's right.
15 Hours is a good one. It's a standalone book, and it's all about a fight that's happening between the humans and the orcs. So not the Space Marines. It's like just human sort of thing. And the 15 hours is how long a Marine is alive for on the front line, essentially. And after 15 hours, they will generally be dead from the orcs. And it's kind of the storyline that takes place on the front lines between the orcs and the humans. And it was a very, very nice little book.
Sorry, going off topic, but we're talking about it. So I'm going to bring up just the one episode of Secret Level. The Space Marine episode is fucking brilliant. So again, if you've got 10 minutes and you want to
19 minutes.
19
I
minutes.
made my wife watch it as well.
So Secret Level is like an anthology series on Netflix. They're all very short stories of different games and genres and things like that.
So it's all based on video games.
Video games, yeah.
Okay.
There is a Space Marine episode, which I think is about episode 5.
Something like that.
You don't have to watch them in any order. They're all random sort of things. But yeah, it's one of the few things that depicts a Space Marine as a Space Marine. Like, humans have no ability to fight a Space Marine like fairly.
So essentially, a Space Marine is a genetically modified human who is 7 to 8 feet tall, has 2 hearts, acid blood,
3 lungs.
3 lungs. They genetically heal themselves faster than anything. Like they get pierced, the body will heal itself. They're essentially immortal.
Yeah, the only thing that kills them is dying in battle, basically, and that's incredibly hard to do.
Yeah.
And I've never seen them depicted, because there's been a couple of like cartoon things done, like CG things done, and game cutscenes and stuff, and nothing's ever depicted them how they should be depicted, like they are in the books and stuff. And in this, you see it, and it's just that's a human fighting a Space Marine.
Like one Space Marine effectively should be able to take out like. Well, in parts of the Heresy, one Marine can conquer a planet, like especially against unless you've got the right technology, you're not taking him down.
Yeah,
and in the books, the thing I love, it's got nothing to do with the Secret Level thing, but in the books, if one gets injured on battle and their body is pretty much fucked, they take their brain or the parts that's left of their body and pretty much put them in a living sarcophagus, which is called a dreadnought, and they essentially just become a giant robot for the rest of their life, for the rest of eternity. And they just sleep, and when they need it, they just get woken up, and they're just a giant robot that gets on the field and just belts the fuck out of people and shoots them. It's
what a life.
Yeah.
All right, but talking of more Space Marines and gaming, if you've noticed on the YouTube and you've been watching, we have our lovely Atrocitus models that we've all painted. Alana and her husband Zach have already voted for what one they think is the best painted.
Which we're not going to know.
We're not pointing at, talking to, but again, so they will come up on the socials throughout the week, and everyone can vote in. AJ is currently the reigning winner.
1-0, baby.
I didn't fuck up an eye this week, and
stop giving it hints away. No. What if one of us did fuck it up an eye, and all of a sudden they know it's not yours now?
I've looked at the eyes; they're all fine. We're all fine. No one turned Superman a different skin color, so it's fine. It's fine. My only problem with this model was it's way too much red. I need the inner nerd in me of like painting so many armies. Like I can't. The color theory is not working. I need more. I need a different color. But no, I enjoyed the paint job. It turned out pretty quick and smooth after I got started, so it was good.
Yeah, no, it was a fun model to paint. I painted mine in about 2 and a bit hours.
Yeah, mine.
I just had no time, so I was just like, smash it out, get it as quick as possible. But yeah, anything else?
I got a random one, actually.
Yep, sure.
A little while back, we spoke about books or sci-fi books that sort of got us into the genre from our childhood and whatnot. I spoke about Animorphs. Yeah, and how they had some graphic novels and whatnot. So Mr. Bevan Hall, one of our previous guests, came through and he gave me 1 to 5 of those graphic novels during the week because he had them on hand. I've read the first two. They are really fucking good.
Awesome.
They're definitely targeted at a younger audience.
Does it start with the alien crashing and all that kind of stuff?
It still starts in that same vein, like the same storyline and whatnot.
That was the alien one, Tobias?
No, I can't remember now. The alien was something else, but I think Tobias might have been the other guy.
Yeah, I remember one of them was Tobias.
Yeah. But
he was the one who turns into a hawk and doesn't change, but can't change back.
Yep.
That's right.
And that's the same thing. That's a continuation.
Memories are fucking flashing back, baby.
Tobias, I remember Tobias, but that's all I remembered.
Yeah, because I remember one of them got changed into an animal and couldn't turn back because they can only stay changed for a certain amount of time. Yeah.
And so, that's the same thing there, follows that story and whatnot. But so I've read the first two. They're really, really good. One thing that I can't actually remember from the books, but it comes across really, really well in the comics, is how they feel when they actually turn into the animal. So I can't really remember it being shown or portrayed.
That was a part of the books. Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
It didn't stick with me, but in the graphic novels, it comes across really, really well because they talk about how, like, if they become a tiger, they feel powerful, big, excited, look at me go. If they become a cat, they become arrogant and, like, just really, like, fuck you, I'm doing what I want to do. If they become, one of them becomes a lizard and is just, like, petrified. Because they get all of those emotions. They just want to sort of skitter away and run and hide and whatnot. And
I think that was mainly conveyed in the... That's why they change back, because otherwise those feelings take over and they can't remember who they are or some shit.
Right.
I think that was what the rule why they couldn't change back or something like that.
No, because the rule in this one is if you stay for 2 hours, you just turn into that creature. And you can't come back from being that creature. But I mean, it's still the Andalites, still the Yerks, it's still the same characters and whatnot. It's awesome. If you come across them and whatnot, pick them up. It's really good. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Any nerd prospects for you over the Christmas holidays?
Well, I'm only 2 books away from my reading goal, so I'm going to do that. We're currently watching... we're watching Bob's Burgers, Abbott Elementary, Jurassic World Chaos Theory, and Dragon Prince.
It's a little bit on the go.
Yeah. And we're still trying to continue our Marvel movie marathon. We've given up on doing the whole, like, all of the TV shows and all of the movies in order. So we're just going to do all the movies and then cherry pick the TV shows we're most excited about.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Make sure you watch Echo.
Yeah.
Echo is it's probably one of my favorites out of all the TV series.
You can watch that at any point as well. It doesn't tie in really.
Kind of with Hawkeye, but it doesn't recap in the first
Sounds
episode.
like it also ties in with Daredevil, doesn't it? With
Nah,
Kingpin?
it's just Fisk is in it. That's all you really need to know. It doesn't.
I also haven't seen it. I really haven't watched many of the Disney shows. I watched season 1 of Loki.
Loki's awesome.
I'm really excited for that one.
Half of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That was essentially a movie split into 6 parts.
Wanda.
That was good.
I'm also keen for that.
Yeah, that was good.
That's about it.
Agatha was really good.
Oh, sorry, Agatha.
Yeah, Agatha was great. Really enjoyed Agatha. That's probably one of the better shows.
When I said Wanda, I was thinking of Agatha. I just said the wrong name.
Getting a bunch of awards too.
Yeah, really?
I don't know if they're getting the awards, but definitely getting the nominations. Yeah.
Well, she got first female butt award.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Yeah, one of the chat shows gave her the first female butt award in Marvel. Bare butt. Because she bears her ass in it, and she was the first female to bear her ass in the Marvel universe.
No, there's a whole bunch of nominations around it at the minute, which is good to see.
All right, well, I guess give us a plug of Girls Who Don't D&D. Where do we find you?
Girls Who Don't D&D is anywhere that you listen to podcasts, basically. We also have our Instagram account, which is where a lot of our announcements and stuff go. And check us out. And
does Corey have any merch left after I was seeing him trying to plug it in throughout all of Europe, wherever he went on Instagram?
I think he did. We were trying to get rid of, sell as much as we could, so we didn't have to bring it back with us. Because Corey did the same thing.
Dice back.
Well, yeah, but Corey didn't take clothes with him. So his suitcase was merch. And Zach did the same thing. So he had clothes in his carry-on, but his big suitcase, we had 25 kilos of merch in Zach's suitcase, which, was insane. We still actually ended up buying, we didn't take any merch back,
sure.
Zach and I. but we still had to buy an additional duffel bag and pay for an additional 15 kilos.
Oh.
Like
So you didn't take clothes as still okay. That's awesome.
wild. So yeah, Corey.
Hey, swords are heavy.
Hey, I was going to say, there was a
Yes,
sword.
there was a sword.
There was a sword in there.
But we didn't take all of our merch over, so we do definitely have some left over. And I think Indy brought a bag home as well, so we did bring some back.
Sweet. I'll say I'm just the jumper you were currently wearing. I'm a fan of orange, so I'll probably pick that one up just because it's got orange on it.
Very good. Very good.
Okay, well, that is it for episode 51, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much for all of those who watch, and thank you for all those who listen. Our biggest listeners are now Canada for the last month, so thank you very much to Canada. And
They'll have a Comic-Con. We can go to that.
yeah, we'll come over to Canada Comic-Con. I'm quite happy to. I can love Canada. So don't forget to go on the socials and check out and vote for our painted atrocities. This is it for this year.
Yes.
This will be our last episode, and we will be coming back in the new year in probably mid-January.
Yep.
We'll be back. We'll announce when the first episode will be at some point.
Probably is a twosome because I won't be back by then.
Yeah. So other than that, thank you very much for joining us for a third time, Alana.
It was
It's a privilege. Thank you. We really enjoyed you having it. Thank you for sharing your highlights of your trip and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
And we will see you all in the new year.
Yes.
So see you later, guys.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, everyone.
See you later.
Hey, guys. Thanks for listening to Frantic Nerdcast.
You can find all our latest news and information on Facebook or at franticnerdcast.com.
You can find us on Instagram at Frantic Nerdcast. Find AJ at Weird Art by AJ. Find Zach at Frantic Kaz and myself at Frantic Brock.
Please make sure to head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe for more YouTube-only content like Sequelize It and Plays Games.